Boom. I'm leading the show. Boom. Perfect.
Okay, so boom. Bro, it's been a minute.
Yeah, dude.
It's been a minute.
It's been probably an hour.
At minimum.
At minimum.
Lots have changed. Okay. I think the last time you were here, we were nothing. We were just pin drops out there. And now we have some interactions. We open the door for people to chime in and give us their boom topics. So that's what we're going to talk about.
So many booms now.
Yeah, everyone wants that boom. So we're going to give it to them. We're going to go ahead and go over fan boom topics.
Okay, sounds good.
So this one says, okay, so boom, how to manage dating a girl with anxiety. I have patience, but what would be the limit? I feel like they're not alone.
Yeah, no, that's something that's very common. It's a big setback for a lot of people.
Yeah, because anxiety, right? Like, you'd be lying if you said you didn't have anxiety once upon a time in your life at some point or known somebody with anxiety.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Basically everybody has it at some point.
At some point, because there's so many different forms of anxiety. You have social anxiety, you know.
So wait, so did he say how to manage it or how to get over it?
Yeah, how to manage it. He's basically saying like, hey, I got patience. I'm a nice guy. But what is the limit?
Well, I feel like when just that wording, how to manage, it seems like how to put that in my schedule. Like is it how to deal with it or just how to overcome it? Because there's a difference between.
Right. I think for me, right, no matter what the anxiety is, right, no matter how severe the anxiety is, no matter what the anxiety is about, it depends on how much you're into the person. Like me personally, because if you don't really like somebody like that,
bro, if you like them, dude, you'll just go for it. I feel like,
dude, if she's like the type, if she's the type, remember how we said before, like if they're super hot, you'll be like, whatever,
whatever.
Dude. You have a mental breakdown every time there's more than 3 people in a room. I guess I'll deal with that shit. But nah, honestly though, for the most part, it's all about, you know, how invested are you in the person? If you're just spending time with a person, knowing damn well in the back of your head, like they have those deal breakers and you're just kind of spending time to spend time for the sake of it. And you're just there, you know, because you don't want to be alone maybe. Yeah, their anxieties are going to be a problem. They're always going to be a problem because you're not really that invested in the person. But now on the flip side, if you are very invested in the person, then it's a growing point. It's a point of, like you said before, overcoming that thing with them. You know
I believe in overcoming any sort of fear or challenge that you have. And if anxiety is something that's so clear cut, that's like, obviously I get anxiety when I'm with this person, or it doesn't matter who. I believe in facing that fear,
tackling it.
Yeah, just going for it. And almost in a way that's a receptor in our own bodies that tells us what we need to work on.
Yeah, for sure.
So for me, when I all of a sudden start feeling a pressure, whatever it might be, if it's anxiety, fear, if I know that my body is being like, yo, I don't want to go for this, sometimes
that's something
it's
you should probably do. Yeah,
sometimes it's a good choice to overcome that.
Yeah.
Because you become better and it's not as hard anymore. So that would be my advice, is to, when you feel those feelings of challenge or fear,
don't run away from it.
Face them on.
Yeah, for sure. I remember one time in particular, right? Me and this person, we were together for about a year at this point in time. So, you know, it was pretty serious, I guess you could say. And because I was serious about the person, they had a bit of social anxiety, right? They were easily like embarrassed in social situations, and I'm very much the opposite. So what happened is that we were going to go to the movies, and I'm like, hey, I'm trying to be cozy. In this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and rock my freaking onesie, bro. Yes, my adult ass onesie. And they were just like so taken aback. They were having a freaking panic attack. And I felt so bad because I was like, I know that this is like freaking eating her alive right now. The fact that like just the thought of being out in public with a grown ass man with a onesie, on top of the fact that she has social anxiety.
What? But was it like some fluffy? Like it was a fluffy.
Dude, it was the one that I wore before, the lumberjack one with the backlatch, bro.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. Super embarrassing. Like if you know, if you have social anxiety already, that was like the worst thing that could possibly have happened.
Oh, that's funny though.
But the thing is, what the beautiful part that happened was that she actually rocked her onesie. And we did it together.
There we go.
We went to the movies together. And at first she was like, I'm not going to go in. Like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And I'm like, listen, like, I don't care. These tickets were freaking expensive. You're going in. Okay. So I pushed her out of the comfort zone. We went, saw the movie, super cozy. You know what I'm saying?
There we go.
Had a great time. And then on the way out, somebody complimented us and was like, oh my God, you guys look so cute together. I'm so jealous. And then you could tell the guy was like completely hating my guts because he was there with his girl. And he was like, oh, this guy, dude, you know, like, now next time I got to come in with a onesie. But forever, she will always remember that I helped her overcome that anxiety. And that's something that we will share forever. And it made her better in the long run. And it made me feel good that I helped somebody else. So managing anxiety, if you're invested, go for it.
Yeah, I would say in the long run, overcoming your anxiety reaps blessings.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you have a boom topic from the from the segment?
Let me pull these up. So these are some of the ones that I got, and so here we are. So this one says injustice. I don't know if I should read the name here, but we said injustice anal 26. Okay, so boom. Is guilt a social construct or a reflection on yourself?
That's tough, man. What's your take on it?
So I feel like that's not that. I don't feel like that's that tough. I feel like it's pretty clear cut. But the only reason I have that is because I have, I'm pretty, religiously bound, and I feel like religion teaches us that guilt is not just a social thing. It's more of like an internal. It's
outside
thing.
Of us.
Yeah. No. Well. So basically, guilt means that you've ashamed yourself to somebody in a higher authority.
Okay.
And because somebody's watching you, it's like if you've ashamed your brother or your dad. So I think that guilt is a reflection on your choices that you've made rather than just how social or culture tells you.
And for you, the source of your guilt comes from the higher power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay, I feel that because I also believe in answering to a higher power, right? But I also remember a time in my life when I was agnostic and on the fringe of becoming atheist. But I still had guilt for things, which was bizarre because here I am cold-heartedly like I don't believe in God. But at the same time, I still felt guilt. Like I would masturbate and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I've done this.
Yeah, there's that.
So what is that? My take on it, I think that it's both. I think it's a mixture. Because guilt is such a weird thing because there's things that logically you shouldn't feel guilty about, right? Like what is that? Why do I feel guilty about that? But yet you do, no one even has to watch, you know damn well.
Yeah, I think guilt comes from. Well, it's kind of clear. Every time you feel guilt, it's because you've broken something that's
something sacred, something above you,
sacred thing. And for me, it always comes from the Bible, like the 10 Commandments. That's just for me.
For you personally.
When I take it as guilt comes from culture, then we can start making rules of like what you should not be feeling guilty about, even though you do. For example, like, everyone would tell you that once you masturbate, you shouldn't feel guilt. But it's like, but I do.
But you do.
And so it's obviously not like a cultural thing.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's like a personal thing.
Yeah. Guilt and shame, to me personally, I think that they're important I think a lot of people, we're in this weird era where nothing should be shamed and you shouldn't feel guilt for anything. But like, to be honest, without guilt and shame, you really can't have like a society, right? Because like, what if people didn't feel guilt for like screwing outside, like wherever they wanted,
killing somebody, or
like that. Oh, I don't care, no shame, baby, just doing it out here.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It kind of keeps us in check.
It keeps us in check,
and
bro.
I think we should obey those feelings. We should really follow and trust those feelings. Just like anxiety, like when you have those feelings, that means something. And so to just be like, forget it, I shouldn't feel guilty about anything, that's kind of dumb, because you're going to run into some problems. Your body knows like way more than us.
If I had to sum up shame and guilt, I think that it's like a nice shameful cake, right? So at the core base level, we have things that as human beings we are all unanimously ashamed about, right? So for instance, clothing. Like you would be shameful if you were outside without clothes. I don't think that that's a social construct, because you could go anywhere in the world and they at least got a leaf. You know what I'm saying? Like, So I think that people wear clothes. That's a baseline thing. Pedophilia, shameful, right? Like nobody's like on board. Well, actually in 2021, there are talks in weird realms about how old somebody should be to love with.
Oh yeah,
that's
weird.
all crazy.
That's crazy.
But for the most part, most normal people, pedophilia is bad. Murder, bad, right? Cheating, bad. That's like baseline. The second layer of this shameful cake that we have going on is like social constructs, meaning that maybe you live in the United States, maybe something is not as shameful as maybe in Europe, right? Like the red light district, they're cool with it. But over here, it's kind of like, nah.
Unacceptable.
A
little bit weird.
And then the frosting would be like your personal culture, where you personally come from. If you're like a white person from Utah, or you're, a Latino from New York, or, whatever. The frosting is your personal code and ethics on what you should feel guilt and shame for. What are some things you feel shame about? Besides the obvious, right?
Yeah, besides the obvious. Sometimes I feel guilty just, either not doing certain things. It's weird. Sometimes I just get like this feeling of like, you should be going and doing something.
Oh, just being lazy, like wasting a day?
Yeah, being lazy, but it's not even lazy. It's just like, I should go to my car and I should go and start working on this, or I should start working on that. And when I don't do it, it's like I feel this feeling of guilt, and it's like, dude, what even is this? Because again, like socially, that shouldn't bring anybody guilt, but it does. It's like, why am I not working?
No one else is involved.
Yeah,
it's just you.
It's just me. And so that's why, to me, and maybe to this person, that's why he's asking this question, is like, the reason I'm feeling guilt on these random things, is this like something that's personal, or has this been like, is this like a real thing? And
where's this coming from?
I mean, that I feel like somebody knows you should be doing something, and they're calling you to do it. Yeah. And you're not doing it. And so that's why you're like guilty. You're ashamed.
You're going against, even if you're not religious, you're going against your personal highest power. Like you're
going
like,
against your character. What's the deepest part in
what
you?
What you should be doing.
Or your family. It's like you have your name, your family name. Yeah. It's like my family name would be doing this. Yeah. Or my true self would be doing this, not, and I think that's what makes you feel guilt.
Big facts. I'm there's so many things I'm shameful for, bro. It almost like feels hard to just live life, because there's so many things, right? Like I feel so much guilt and shame every time I masturbate, but I do it like a lot.
Did you feel guilt and shame when you wore that onesie?
No, actually. Like I didn't. I feel shame whenever I kill a bag of Doritos. Like one shot would kill.
Dude,
what's the deal?
I've done that, bro. I've
one shot, bro.
Whole thing.
One shot.
Whole thing.
And the worst part is, I feel extra guilty when I look down and I'm looking for more. And I even got a chip like on my freaking chest, like resting on my nipple, and it's just on the teeter. Like I'm just like, what is this? I got like freaking nacho cheese like ripped all everywhere. Over, bro. I'm just like, damn it, bro. I told myself I wouldn't do it, and I did it anyway.
One time I put I smothered a potato in oil, and I just put it in the microwave for 20 minutes.
That's shameful, bro.
And it got so cooked I didn't even use silverware. I just picked it up and started eating.
Dude, that's savage. Did
Like,
it get caught in your
afterward-
mustache a little bit?
No,
Or did you
was-
have one
I
at
don't
the
even,
time?
I don't know.
You
I
don't
can't
think
remember.
you
It was
had
like a
it.
couple years ago,
Yeah.
but
It's
yeah,
looking great,
I was
though,
just
by the
like-
way.
Yeah, I know.
think the little
I
vacation-
shaved it
yeah.
a little bit on the sides here.
I think the vacation
You know, I
did it
kind of want to
justice.
shave it a little bit even smaller, but I might get a little close to that, Charlie
Yeah.
Chapman Hitler look. We
Yeah.
don't know the difference.
No.
So I'm like, I want to make my own thing, but I also don't want to get too
Yeah,
close. Where
I
it's
think the
like,
wider the better, in my opinion. But I'm also super shameful about like just lying when I don't have to. And I think sometimes I lie just because I don't want to deal with the freaking, like, basically the hard route of telling somebody the truth. Like sometimes I just wake up like, I'm not in the mood to argue. I'm not in the mood to discuss this right now. I'm just gonna lie to you for today, right now, because I'm not in the mood to argue.
And just
We'll
get it
talk
over
about it.
with.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
talk about it later. What do you think about this?
And you feel guilty afterward.
Hell yeah, because I'm like, dude, I don't like lying.
So tell me this: is there anything that you feel like we feel guilty about that we shouldn't? Is there any time where we should just be like, actually this guilt is becoming a burden, not actually helping me?
Damn, that's such a solid question, because I feel like a lot of the times that guilt could make you a better person. Like, I think if we looked in the mirror deep down and we were to actually listen to that voice that's telling you to be guilty, I feel like on the other end of all that guilt and shame, if you just gave into it and listened for once, you'd actually come out kind of a better person.
Dude, I actually really respect that.
Yeah.
I would probably agree. Because
Yeah.
because we were talking about fear, and sometimes, most of the time, I think we should overcome the fear, chase the fear, go into the the building of that scary place, and we should run into it.
Right.
But sometimes fear is like where we should actually avoid it.
Yeah, I think.
So I don't know if guilt is the same. Maybe we should always just avoid.
Yeah, to be honest, I wish that I gave into my guilt a lot more, because I think that I would progress more as a human being than I am right now, for sure.
Okay, so boom.
We're doing a survey around the country on the way population handles themselves and speaks and deals with their friends and interact with their peers.